The oak doors burst open with a crack that silenced the string quartet. Ethan Hayes, standing rigid at the altar in his Tom Ford suit, watched a woman stumble inside. Her champagne dress was wrinkled, dark hair falling wild around flushed cheeks. She clutched white peonies like a lifeline. Their eyes met across the aisle. Green against steel blue. Something electric passed between them, something that made Ethan's carefully controlled world tilt. Sideways, she mouthed, "Sorry," and slipped into the bridesmaid line. Trembling, Ethan couldn't look away. Not during the vows. Not during the kiss. Not when rice scattered across perfectly manicured grass. At 32, he'd built a $3 billion empire by focusing on what mattered: profit, expansion, control. He found her alone by the lake, champagne in hand. "Quite an entrance," he said. She turned, and up close she was devastating. High cheekbones, full lips, exhaustion carved into every feature. "My car died on the highway. I hitchhiked. He stepped closer, catching Jasmine in desperation. "That's either brave or reckless." "Both." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "I'm Ella Monroe. Ethan Hayes. I know who you are." Something flickered across her face. Fear. Recognition. Business Weekly called you the most eligible bachelor in tech. "My best friend's getting married. That's what matters, really." She studied him with unnerving intensity. "Or is that what you tell yourself to seem human?" The words should have offended him. Instead, they thrilled him. "Dance with me and find out." On the floor, her body fit against his, like she'd been made for it. She smelled like jasmine and secrets. They swayed in silence until she whispered, "You should stay away from me, Ethan." "Why?" "Because I'm not who you think I am." Moonlight caught tears she was fighting. "Then tell me who you are, I can't." "Ella," his voice dropped. "What are you running from?" She opened her mouth, closed it. Then her phone buzzed. She went white, reading the screen. "I have to go." She broke from his arms, backing away. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait." He caught her wrist. "Let me help. Whatever it is, whatever you're afraid of, I can fix it." She laughed, and it sounded like breaking glass. "No one can. Try me." Ella looked at him for a long moment. Then she leaned in, pressed her lips to his cheek, and whispered against his skin, "My real name is Ella Hartley. If you search it, you'll understand why I can never see you again." She ran. Ethan stood frozen, her perfume still in his lungs, her words echoing. Then he pulled out his phone and typed her name. The first result was a news article. The headline made his blood run cold. "Ella Hartley, key witness in billion-dollar fraud case. Enters witness protection after testifying against crime syndicate, death threats." Issued, dated 6 months ago. He looked up. She was gone. And Ethan Hayes, who had never chased anything but money, started running. Ethan found her 3 blocks away, leaning against a brick wall, shoulders shaking. Not crying, laughing. The sound was hollow, broken. "You actually Googled me." She didn't look up. "Most people would have let me disappear. I'm not most people." He stood close enough to feel her warmth. "Talk to me." "Why?" Her head snapped up, eyes blazing. "So you can be another person I put in danger. The syndicate I testified against, they don't forgive. They don't forget. Everyone who gets close to me becomes a target." "Then why come to the wedding?" Her jaw clenched. "Rachel is dying. Stage 4 cancer. 6 months, if she's lucky." She wanted one perfect day before everything ends. How could I say no? The confession hung between them like smoke. Ethan processed it, the weight settling in his chest. "Does she know? About you?" "No one knows. The Marshalls gave me a new identity, new life, new everything. I'm supposed to disappear, blend in, survive." Ella pushed off the wall. "And then you happened." Me. You looked at me like I was real. Not a ghost. Not a lie. Just me, her voice cracked. Do you know how long it's been since someone saw me? Ethan closed the distance. I'm seeing you now. You shouldn't. They're always watching. Who texted you? Ella hesitated, then showed him the screen. A photo hurt at the wedding. The message below, we know where you are, Ella Hartley. Run again. We'll find you again. This is why I have to leave. She tried to move past him. He blocked her path. Or you stay. And we deal with this together. Together? She laughed again, sharper. You don't know what you're offering. These people killed my father when he tried to expose them. They burned down my childhood home with my mother inside. I watched it happen through a phone screen because I was already in protective custody. Ethan's fists clenched. Then we go to the authorities. I am the authorities' problem. They relocated me once. If I break cover, if I compromise the case, I'm on my own. And Ethan? She met his eyes. I'm tired of running, but I'm more tired of watching people die for me. So what's your plan? Vanish. Tonight they found Monroe. I'll become someone else. And Rachel? Ella flinched like he'd struck her. She'll think I abandoned her. Better that than putting her in crosshairs. No. Ethan's voice hardened. There's another way. There isn't. There is. I have resources, security, connections that can keep you safe while we figure this out. Why? Ella stepped closer, challenging. Why would you risk everything for someone you just met? He should have had a logical answer, a calculated reason. Instead, he said the truth. Because when I'm near you, I feel something I haven't felt in years. Like I'm alive instead of just existing. Her breath hitched. That's not enough. Maybe not, but it's a start. For 3 heartbeats, they just stared. Then Ella grabbed his collar and pulled him down. Their lips crashed together, desperate and searching. She tasted like champagne and fear and something wild he couldn't name. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, she whispered, if I stay, people will die. If you run, you die inside. I can see it in your eyes. You don't know me, then let me. Ella closed her eyes, opened them. My handler's name is Marshall Webb. Call him. Tell him Ella Hartley is requesting emergency relocation. If you can convince him to give me one more week to say goodbye to Rachel properly, I'll consider your offer. Done, Ethan. She grabbed his hand. They'll come for you too. Once they know we're connected, you become leverage. Your company, your family, everyone you love. He squeezed back. I don't have anyone I love. Not until tonight. The confession landed between them, raw and terrifying. Before Ella could respond, a black sedan pulled up. No plates. Ella's face drained of color. Run. The doors opened. 2 men emerged. Suits, sunglasses despite the darkness. But the third person made Ethan's world shatter. Marshall Webb, FBI badge. And beside him, stone-faced, was Marcus Chen, Ethan's business partner. His friend for 12 years, Marcus. Ethan's voice was hollow. What the hell's this? I'm sorry, Ethan. I didn't have a choice. Everyone has a choice. Ella's voice was ice, but her hand trembled in Ethan's. What did they offer you? Immunity. Marcus finally looked up, and his expression was haunted. The fraud case Ella testified about. The syndicate used hazy technologies to launder money. Through my accounts, my access codes. I didn't know until it was too late. You're telling me my company was used for criminal activity? Your company was built on it. Out. Marshall Webb stepped forward. Marcus came forward 6 weeks ago, agreed to cooperate in exchange for immunity. But we needed leverage to make the case stick. Leverage, Ella repeated, understanding flooding her features. You used me as bait. You were already compromised. Webb's tone was clinical. When you broke protocol to attend that wedding, you gave us an opportunity. We leaked your location. Let the syndicate think they'd found you, so they'd come out of hiding, Ethan finished, nausea rising. You sacrificed her. You protected her. This whole thing was surveillance. Controlled environment. But then you complicated things. Webb's gaze shifted to Ethan. Ethan Hayes, tech billionaire, suddenly interested in our witness. The syndicate noticed. And now they think you're involved? I'm not. Doesn't matter what's true. Matters what they believe. Marcus finally found his voice. Ethan, they'll kill you. Unless you cooperate? Cooperate how? Testify. Your company's records can expose the entire network. But you'll have to burn Hayes Technologies to the ground. Admit it was compromised. Watch 12 years of work crumble. The words hung in the cold air. Ethan looked at Ella. Her face was unreadable. This was the plan all along, she said quietly. Get close to me. Make me trust you. Then leverage that trust to force Ethan's cooperation. No, Ethan's protest was immediate. Ella, I didn't know. Didn't you? Her eyes were glacial now. Billionaire CEO just happens to be at the wedding where I'm stationed. Just happens to pursue me? This whole night, every word, every touch, it was theater. That's not true, isn't it? She turned to Webb. How much did you tell him before the wedding? Webb's silence was damning. Oh, God. Ella backed away from Ethan like he was poison. You knew I'd be there. You knew what I was. I knew you were a protected witness. Ethan's voice cracked. Marcus told me 3 days ago. Asked me to get close to you, gain your trust, so we could all get out of this alive. But Ella, everything I felt, everything I said, that was real. Real. She laughed, and it shattered something in his chest. You want to know what's real? Real as my father's body in a ditch. Real as my mother's screams on that voicemail. Real as every person who ever promised to keep me safe using me as a chess piece instead. I'm not using you, then walk away. Right now, let me disappear. Don't testify. Don't cooperate. Just walk away. If he walked away, the syndicate won. Marcus went to prison. Hayes Technologies collapsed anyway. But if he testified, Ella's cover was permanently blown. She'd spend her life running. I can't do that, he whispered. Something died in Ella's eyes. Then we're done here. Ms. Hartley. Webb stepped between them. We can offer you permanent relocation, new identity, witness protection for life. But you need to testify again. Corroborate Ethan's evidence, and if I refuse, you're a loose end. Syndicate knows you're alive. You refuse to testify? We can't protect you, so I'm trapped. Out. We're all trapped. Marcus's voice was hollow. I'm sorry, Ethan. I'm sorry, Ella. I thought I was saving everyone. You were saving yourself. Ella's voice could cut glass. Don't dress it up as heroism. Before anyone could respond, gunfire erupted. The windshield of Webb's sedan exploded. Everyone dropped. More shots, screaming, chaos. They found us. Webb shouted, returning fire. Move, move. Ethan grabbed for Ella, but she was already running. Not away from the gunfire. Toward it. She scooped up Webb's dropped weapon, turned, and fired 3 precise shots. A figure fell from the rooftop across the street. She moved like a soldier. Efficient. Deadly. Who are you? Ethan breathed. Ella ejected the clip, checked it, slammed it back. Someone who's tired of being a victim. She looked at him one last time. You want to save everyone, Ethan? You can't. You can only choose who you're willing to lose. Then she vanished into the smoke and darkness, leaving Ethan bleeding on the pavement from a wound he hadn't felt until now. Marcus crouched beside him. We need to get you to a hospital. We need to find her. She's gone. And Ethan realized with terrible clarity that Ella hadn't run from the syndicate. She'd run to them. The hospital smelled like antiseptic and broken promises. Ethan sat in the ER, shoulder bandaged, watching news footage of the shootout. 3 syndicate members dead. Marshall Webb in critical condition. Ella Monroe, Born Ella Hartley, missing. Marcus stood by the window, staring at nothing. She's going to get herself killed. She knows what she's doing. Unknown number. He answered without thinking. Hayes Technologies, server room B, 30 minutes. Come alone, Ella's voice. Then silence. Marcus turned. What did she say? Nothing. Ethan stood, ignoring the pain screaming through his shoulder. I need air. You're lying. Yeah, I am. He left before Marcus could stop him. Hayes Technologies at midnight was a glass monument to everything Ethan had built, and everything he was about to destroy. He found Ella in the server room, surrounded by humming machines and blinking lights. She'd changed clothes, black tactical gear, blood on her knuckles. You came, she said without turning. You knew I would. I hoped you wouldn't. She finally faced him. Dark circles under her eyes, a fresh cut above her eyebrow. Do you know what's on these servers, Ethan? Evidence. Transactions. Everything the FBI needs.
More than that.
The syndicate's entire network. Names, accounts, operations spanning 15 countries. This isn't just about Hayes Technologies. It's about burning down an empire. So burn it. If I do, innocent people die. The syndicate has hostages. Insurance 23. Families that they've embedded in their operations. Wives, children, people who didn't choose this life but are trapped in it anyway. Ethan moved closer. How do you know this? Because my father wasn't just a whistleblower. He was one of them. An accountant who saw too much and tried to do the right thing. They killed him. Then they killed my mother for revenge. But before he died, he gave me everything. Names, numbers, proof. So you've had this information the whole time.
Wow.
And I've been trying to figure out how to expose them without massacring innocents. The FBI doesn't care. Webb told me collateral damage is acceptable losses. Marcus wants to save himself. And you? Her voice broke. You want to save me? But I don't want to be saved, Ethan. I want justice. Then let's get it together. There's no together. Not anymore. She pulled out a flash drive. This has everything. The syndicate. The hostages. The whole network. But activating it means choosing. Save the hostages. Let the syndicate escape. Or destroy the syndicate. Kill the hostages. There has to be another way. There isn't. I've spent 6 months looking. This is Sophie's choice, and I'm giving it to you. Why me? Because you're the only person in this mess who isn't compromised. You didn't know about the laundering. You genuinely wanted to help. And because she stepped close enough that he could feel her breath. In one night, you made me want things I thought I'd buried with my parents. A normal life, trust, love, Ella. But wanting something doesn't make it possible. I learned that the hard way. She pressed the flash drive into his palm. Rachel has 3 months left, not 6. The cancer's accelerating. I'm going to spend that time with her. Under a new name, in a new city, and when she's gone, I'm going after the syndicate myself. That's suicide. Probably, but at least it'll be my choice. She kissed him then. Soft and desperate and final. Don't follow me. Don't try to save me. Just make the right choice with that drive. Whichever one you can live with. What if I can't live with either? Then you'll understand what my life has been like. She backed toward the door. There's a third option, by the way. On that drive, coded file. My father's failsafe. But using it means destroying everything. Your company, the syndicate, the FBI's case, Marcus's immunity, everything burns. Including probably us, Ella. Wait. Goodbye, Ethan Hayes. In another life, maybe we could have been something beautiful. She disappeared. Ethan looked at the flash drive. Then at the servers surrounding him, the empire he'd built. The lives hanging in the balance. The choice only he could make. He plugged in the drive. The screen flickered. 3 folders: hostages, syndicate, failsafe, his. Finger hovered over the mouse. Then his phone rang. Rachel, Ella's dying friend, Mr. Hayes. Her voice was weak, but urgent. Ella told me to call you if anything happened. They took her. 20 minutes ago. Black van. She made me promise to tell you she's sorry, and that the answer is in the wedding vows. The wedding vows. What had they said? Love, honor, cherish. For better or worse, in sickness and health, till death do us part. Understanding crashed over him like ice water. Ella hadn't given him a choice at all. She'd set him up. Every word, every confession, every kiss. Because the failsafe wasn't just about burning everything down, it was about her. Ella Hartley was the failsafe, and she'd just handed herself to the syndicate as the final piece. Ethan opened the failsafe file with shaking hands, a video. Ella's father, gaunt and dying, speaking to a camera. If you're watching this, my daughter has made her final move. The syndicate's weakness isn't their money or their network. It's their ego. They need to make examples. They need spectacle. Ella knows this. She's going to offer herself as trade. The only witness who can truly destroy them in exchange for the hostages. They'll take the deal. They always do. The image shifted. Security footage, locations, timestamps, every place the syndicate operated. Cross-referenced with police patrol routes, FBI surveillance windows, media coverage schedules. Here's what they don't know. Ella has a tracker, biological, untraceable, injected months ago. When she enters their central hub, this program activates. Every agency, every news outlet, every enemy they've ever made gets the location simultaneously. The syndicate dies. The hostages go free. And Ella ... The video cut to Ella herself. Younger, healthier, before everything broke her. I won't survive this. I know that. But Dad taught me something important. Sometimes the only way to win is to become the sacrifice. If you're watching this, Ethan, it means I trusted you enough to let you see the truth. Just make sure it counts. The screen went black. Ethan slammed his fist on the desk. Then he opened his phone. Called Marcus. I know what she's doing. And I know how to stop it. Ethan, if we interfere, the whole thing collapses. Good. Let it collapse. He hung up. Opened the syndicate file. Found the one name that mattered. Victor Kozlov. The head. The monster. And beside it, an address. A warehouse by the docks. Ethan grabbed his keys and ran. The warehouse was exactly as cliché as expected. Rusted metal. Flickering lights. The smell of salt and blood. Ethan found them in the center. Ella chained to a chair, face swollen but defiant. Victor, circling her like a shark. Ethan Hayes. Victor's accent was thick, amused. The hero arrives. How American. How pointless. Let her go. Why would I do that? She's volunteered herself. Noble sacrifice for 23 families she's never met. It's almost touching, because she's already won. Ethan held up his phone. The tracker activated 10 minutes ago. FBI, Interpol, every agency you've ever crossed, they're already surrounding this building. You have about 90 seconds to run. Victor's smile didn't waver. Bluffing. Am I? Distant, but growing louder. Victor's face finally changed. You stupid boy. You've killed us all. Maybe, but we're taking you with us. Gunfire erupted outside. Victor's men scattered. In the chaos, Ethan reached Ella, broke her chains with a crowbar he'd grabbed. She collapsed against him. You weren't supposed to come, she gasped. I don't do what I'm supposed to do. The hostages. Marcus is extracting them right now. Different location. Your father's intel was perfect. And Victor. They both turned. Victor stood by the exit, gun raised, not at them. At a detonator, if I can't have my empire, no one can. He pressed it. The world exploded in fire and noise. Ethan threw himself over Ella as the warehouse collapsed. Metal screamed. Glass shattered. Everything went dark when consciousness returned. Ethan was in a hospital. Again. Worse injuries this time. Burns. Broken ribs. Collapsed lung. But alive. Marcus sat beside the bed. Victor's dead. 23 families are in protective custody. The FBI dropped all charges against you when they realized you'd basically gift-trapped the case for them. He paused. Ella's alive. Barely. 2 floors up. She's been asking for you. Ethan tried to sit up. Failed. Help me. In her room, Ella looked small against white sheets. Bandages covered most of her visible skin. But her eyes were clear when she saw him. "You're an idiot," she whispered. "Yeah, I've been told. You destroyed your company. It was built on blood money. Good riddance. You nearly died. But I didn't. Neither did you. That's what matters." Ella's hand found his. "What happens now?" "Now?" Ethan settled into the chair beside her bed. "Now we heal. Then we figure out what comes next. Together. I don't know how to do together. Neither do I. We'll learn." Outside the window, dawn broke over the city. Golden light spilled across hospital floors. Somewhere, Rachel was receiving news that her best friend had survived. Somewhere, 23 families were reuniting. Somewhere, the ashes of Hayes Technologies smoldered, but Ethan Hayes found he didn't care. Because for the first time in his carefully calculated life, he'd chosen something that couldn't be measured in profit margins or quarterly reports. He'd chosen a broken woman with a devastating past. He'd chosen chaos over control. He'd chosen love over empire. And somehow, impossibly, she was choosing him back. Ella squeezed his hand. "Thank you for what?" "For seeing me. The real me. Not the witness. Not the weapon. Just me. Always." They sat in silence as the sun rose higher. 2 wounded people. 2 impossible choices. One chance at something real, it wouldn't be easy. They both carried too many scars. But maybe that was the point. Maybe the broken pieces could fit together in ways smooth surfaces never could. Ethan leaned forward, pressed his lips to her forehead. "Get some rest. I'll be here when you wake up, promise?" "Promise." Ella's eyes drifted closed, but her grip on his hand never loosened. And Ethan Hayes, former billionaire, former CEO. Now just a man who'd traded everything for a chance at something true. Watched her breathe and decided he'd made the right choice after all. Outside, the city moved on. But in that quiet hospital room, 2 people who'd been running their entire lives finally stopped, and in stopping, they found something neither expected: home. The end.